Hi everyone, welcome back to Lila and Hadley. Today we're reading chapter 17. My name is Mrs. Bearden. I'm a librarian for St. Tammany Parish Schools. I'm glad you could join me. Now for chapter 17. On Thursday evening, when Beth gets home from work, she tells me Vanessa will be coming over tomorrow for dinner. She says it's to check on Lila, but based on how nervous she gets when she tells me, I get the feeling it's kind of a date too. One I'll be stuck in the middle of. Are you supposed to be dating your boss? I ask as I pick up both of our empty plates after dinner and take them to the sink. Ain't there a rule against that or something? She's not actually my boss. I'm a freelancer, like a contractor. I turn on the faucet and begin rinsing off the dishes. But didn't you say she hired you? Well, technically, yes. She offered me a contract. But I work for myself. I'm my own boss. People hire me for my services. I don't work for the dog rescue, but Vanessa has me under a contract to help them with some training. So, no, Vanessa is not my boss. So you're allowed to date her? I grab the dish soap and a sponge and start washing, eager to get the dishes clean before Beth's phone starts ringing with Mama's call. I suppose some people would frown at it, but we've talked about it. It's something we're both comfortable with, especially since Right Choice isn't my only client. She stands up from the table and comes to lean against the fridge, and she watches me wash the dishes. She folds her arms over her chest. You know, you're awful interested in my love life. I'm not. You could have fooled me, the way you always ask me questions about it. Anytime I bring up Vanessa, you ask about us dating. I do not. Do so, Beth says, and I can hear her laughter bubbling beneath her words. Oh, you're so annoying. I finish scrubbing her plate. I shut off the water. I'm never asking you about it again, I declare as I storm off to my room. I can hear her laughing behind me as I go. But the next day I get up early, before noon, and decide it'd be a good idea to give Lila a bath before we have company. Beth's got a bunch of dog brushes and shampoo and stuff in the cabinet under the bathroom sink. I set all of it out on the counter, then go to the kitchen to grab a jar of peanut butter and a knife. Hadley, Mrs. McGraw asks as I trek through the house gathering up supplies, what are you up to? Gonna give Lila a bath. All right. To tell the truth, she could probably use one, but why do you have peanut butter in your hand? I pretend I don't hear her, and I run back to the bathroom to get started. By this point, I know Lila well enough to know she ain't going to make this easy on me. So I did my research and found the perfect way to keep her in the tub while I wash her. I used the knife to smear peanut butter all over the tiled wall of the tub, right across from the faucet. I'm halfway done before it occurs to me that maybe I ought have run this idea past Beth, since it's her house and her jar of peanut butter. But too late. When I'm done, I call Lila to me, and just as I hoped, she hops right in the tub and starts licking the peanut butter off the wall. That it keeps her occupied for a while and gives me plenty of time to scrub her with dog shampoo and rinse her off. Half an hour later, Mrs. McGraw ain't too pleased about the wet pit bull running through the house or me in my soaked clothes, but she does offer to help me dry Lila off. You know, she says, this was a real nice thing for you to do today, even if Lila is making an awful big mess. Beth will be so tickled you actually did this without her asking. I just shrug. It ain't a big deal. By dinner time, when Vanessa shows up, Lila's all dry, and I've changed into a new pair of jeans and a dry t-shirt. And I gotta say, I'm pretty proud of my handiwork. Lila smells real nice once the wet dog odor goes away. Not that Vanessa or Beth are paying much attention to what the dog smells like. From the minute Vanessa walks in, dressed in a white tank top and skinny jeans, rather than the work clothes I last saw her in, Beth can't take her eyes off of her. And I don't think Vanessa minds too much based on the way she grins at my sister every time Beth says anything to her. It's kind of cute, I guess, but also pretty annoying, since I gotta sit through dinner with the both of them. I might as well not even be there. Beth, this is delicious, Vanessa says, taking a bite of her barbecue chicken sandwich before wiping her mouth on a napkin. Do you like to cook? Sometimes, Beth said, but I don't do it as much as I ought to. Well, did your mom teach you? A little bit, but honestly, Daddy was more the cook in our family. He was really good, and he really enjoyed cooking too. I remember Mama saying that once she realized how good he was in the kitchen, she knew she was going to have to marry him. Smart woman, said Vanessa. My dad's the cook in our family too, though Mom still tries. Tries being the key word there. She's really bad at it. She laughs and shakes her head. If you ever meet her, don't tell her I said that. She'd skin me alive. Oh, I'd love to meet your mother one day. And I'd love for you to meet her. I clear my throat and drop the spoon I'd been eating my mashed potatoes with, letting it clatter onto my plate. Beth and Vanessa both turn to look at me. I'm done eating, I say, because I can't handle being a third wheel much longer. Can I be excused? I'll do the dishes later. Beth begins. But Vanessa says, you know, I'm about done here too, and I'd love to see the progress you've made with Lila. Why don't you grab her and we'll meet you in the living room in a minute? I shrug. Sure. Take a handful of baby carrots from the fridge and I call Lila into the living room with me. Listen, I whisper to her in the next room. Vanessa and Beth finish off their food. Don't be stubborn tonight, okay? Do what I ask, even though people will be watching. Don't make me look silly. Please? Lila just sniffs at the hand where I'm hiding her carrots. Her tail does wag, though, so I'm going to take that as an agreement. When the phone rings, Mama's nightly call, Beth keeps it quick for once. And a few minutes later, she and Vanessa are sitting next to each other on the sofa, watching quietly as I run through the different commands that I've taught Lila. Sit. Good. Lie down. Good girl. Stay. Good. Now come. Lila does it all as if Beth and Vanessa aren't even there. When we've run through everything, I turn to look at our audience while Lila crunches on the last of the baby carrots. I'm impressed, Vanessa tells me. Not surprised, though. I had a good feeling about pairing you two up, and my good feelings are rarely wrong. Hadley spends a lot of time with her, Beth says. She even took Lila to the dog park the other day. I don't think she liked that a whole lot, though, I admit. I sit down on the floor so that Lila can come and lie down next to me, putting her big head in my lap. I scratch behind her ears. She mostly just slept under a bench. But I met a girl there, Shelby. She's got a real friendly dog that Lila gets along with. I think we're going to try and get them together to work on training stuff at the same time. That's great, Vanessa says. You know, as fast as Lila's been learning, it makes me wonder if she's been trained before, Beth says. If whoever her last owner was had done some work with her, and she just didn't want to do it anymore until Hadley came along and did some practice with her. Maybe, Vanessa replies, but why would anyone train a dog just to get rid of them, I ask. Well, I don't know, Beth admits, but dogs end up in rescues for all sorts of reasons. It might not be as simple as that. Most likely we'll never know, but it's just something I've been thinking about. Not to take away from all the work you've been doing, of course. You've still worked miracles with this dog, even if she might have known a few commands before. You really have, Vanessa agrees. I know there's still some things to be worked on, but at this rate, I bet we can have Lila adopted out by the end of the summer. My stomach drops. That soon? Sure, I don't see why not, but I can think of a lot of reasons why not. I've known from the start that Lila ain't my dog, that I am only training her so she can find a permanent home, but somehow, for the last few weeks, that seemed like something real far away. So far away it was hardly worth considering. The end of the summer, though? That's not far away. Not at all. I look down at Lila. Her eyes open and she's staring back up at me. I try to imagine what it'd be like here in Beth's house without her, but the thought is so lonely, I can't take it. Just give it a few more weeks of that good work you've been doing with her, Vanessa continues, oblivious to the sadness washing through me. And we'll be able to put her picture up on the website. She'll be in a good forever home in no time, and it'll all be thanks to you, Hadley. Yeah, I mumble, heart squeezing hard in my chest. Thanks to me. I feel like a real fool because somehow I hadn't realized that in helping Lila get better, I might be breaking my own heart. Beth must be able to guess how I'm feeling. She don't say nothing while Vanessa's here, but she comes knocking on my bedroom door later that night. Hey, she says, you still up? Yeah. I'm lying on my bed with Lila curled up on the other side of me. We're both under the covers, and she started hogging my pillow. I don't fight her, though. Good, Beth says. Y'all scoot over. Huh? Scoot. She turns on the bedside lamp before giving my arm a light shove with her hand. I scoot over a little and I push Lila a bit closer to the edge of the bed so I've got room. She gives an irritated huff before rolling onto her side so that her legs are stretched across me. Beth sits on the now empty side of the bed. For a second, I think she's going to try and talk to me about what Vanessa said, about Lila finding a real home. I think she's going to remind me that she never said we could keep a dog right now, and that this was always the plan, and it's best for Lila, so I got to be okay with it. I've got this whole annoying speech in my head that I'm sure my sister's about to give me. But instead, she pulls out a book. I can't read the title from here. The light's is far too dim for my eyes, but I can hear the pages turning as she cracks the spine. What's that, I ask. A book? I scowl at her. I figured that. What book? One of my favorites. I stopped by that bookshop I told you about the other day, and I picked up a copy. She leans back against the headboard and flips the pages a second before saying, Here we go. The Giver by Lois Lowry, Chapter 1. Beth, you ain't got to do this, I tell her. I don't need you to read to me. I know, Beth says. Now, shh. Chapter 1. I lie there quietly for about an hour, listening to Beth read. She's not as theatrical about it as Mama always was. She don't do the voices or anything like that, but it's still a pretty interesting story, even without the sound effects. My bed really ain't big enough for 2 girls and a pit bull, but squished there between Beth and Lila, I'm able to pretend just for a minute that everything's going to be okay, that I could be happy here with my sister and Lila, that the end of summer is a long way off, and I ain't got to think about Lila going anywhere anytime soon. I'm able to tell myself I ain't got nothing to worry about. For a minute, I think I understood why Mama lied, why she'd said things were going to be okay, even when they weren't. Because right now, trying to believe my own little lie is a whole lot easier than facing the truth. Well, thank you for listening as we read Chapter 17 of Lila and Hadley today. If you like more stories like this, please visit our website at stpsb.org. And keep learning and keep reading.